Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation over text and suddenly, you run out of things to say? You're staring at your phone, overthinking every possible response, and the silence becomes more awkward by the second. It's a situation we've all experienced, and it can leave you feeling frustrated, especially when you're trying to make a good impression or keep someone's interest. Those awkward pauses can make you feel like the connection is slipping away. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be this way. With the right strategies, you can turn any conversation into something that flows naturally and keeps the other person fully engaged. In this video, I'll teach you exactly how to avoid those dreaded silences, how to navigate tricky moments, and how to transform every chat into a fun, meaningful interaction. Whether you're texting someone new or trying to deepen an existing connection, these tips will make sure you never run out of things to say again. Stay with me because by the end, you'll have all the tools you need to make every conversation a success. Keeping a conversation alive and engaging often comes down to finding common ground as quickly as possible. Shared interests not only create an instant connection but also make the conversation flow naturally, removing the pressure of figuring out what to say next. But how do you uncover those shared topics? The answer lies in paying close attention to the subtle clues they drop in their messages. People tend to reveal a lot about themselves, whether it's a hobby they're passionate about, an activity they recently enjoyed, or even something as simple as their weekend plans. These small details are golden opportunities to dig deeper. For example, if they mention they went hiking last weekend, don't just respond with, "That's cool." Instead, turn it into an engaging question like, "What's your favorite trail?" Or "Do you usually hike with friends or do you prefer going solo?" These open-ended questions invite them to share more, keeping the conversation alive and naturally flowing. What's even better is that each answer they give opens up new doors for follow-up questions. Let's say they respond that they love hiking because it helps them relax. You could follow up with, "What do you love most about being in nature?" Or "Do you have a bucket list of hiking destinations you'd like to visit someday?" By showing genuine curiosity, you're not just keeping the chat going, you're also creating an environment where they feel comfortable sharing more about themselves. The key is to focus on their interests and use those as springboards to keep the dialogue moving. If they mention more than one hobby, like hiking and cooking for instance, you now have multiple topics to explore. Don't limit yourself to just one thread. Instead, weave these topics into a dynamic conversation. You might ask about their favorite recipe or the most challenging hike they've done, or even tie the two together with a fun question like, "Have you ever tried cooking outdoors while hiking or camping?" This not only keeps the conversation fresh but also shows creativity and a genuine effort to connect. Sharing your own experiences is another powerful way to build mutual ground. If they mention hiking, you could talk about a memorable trail you've been on and ask for their recommendations on where to go next. If cooking comes up, share a funny or interesting story about the last dish you tried to make and ask for their tips. This approach makes the interaction feel balanced and reciprocal, rather than one-sided. When both people contribute equally to the conversation, it feels less like an interview and more like a natural and enjoyable exchange. Sometimes, finding common ground also means steering the conversation towards something you're both excited about. For example, if they mention they're looking forward to a weekend trip or a new movie, lean into that topic with enthusiasm. Questions like, "What are you most excited about for your trip?" Or "Have you heard any reviews about that movie?" Allow them to express their excitement and keep the energy high. Enthusiasm is contagious, and showing interest in what excites them helps to build a deeper connection. Another tip is to listen carefully for small, unexpected details that could lead to unique topics. Maybe they casually mention they enjoy gardening or have a favorite book genre. These details, though seemingly minor, can spark new and engaging conversations. You could ask, "What's the most rewarding part of gardening for you?" Or "Do you have a favorite author in that genre?" By paying attention to these less obvious hints, you demonstrate that you're truly listening, which makes the other person feel valued and appreciated. Finding common ground isn't about forcing a connection or scrambling to come up with questions. It's about being present, curious, and open to exploring what the other person enjoys. When you approach conversations with this mindset, they become more engaging, meaningful, and enjoyable for both sides. Practicing this technique not only helps you avoid awkward silences but also creates interactions that leave a lasting, positive impression. So the next time you're chatting with someone, pay attention, ask meaningful questions, share your own experiences, and let the conversation flow naturally from the interest you discover together. You'll find that connecting on shared topics is one of the easiest and most effective ways to build rapport and create meaningful interactions that stand out. But don't stop there. Once they answer, follow up with more curiosity. If they say they love hiking because it helps them relax, you could ask, What do you like most about being out in nature? Or do you have a dream hiking destination? This not only shows that you're genuinely listening, but it also keeps the momentum going. The trick is to focus on topics they're clearly interested in, which naturally leads to a deeper and more engaging dialogue. The beauty of finding common ground is that it often opens doors to other topics. If they mention multiple interests, like hiking and cooking, you've now got 2 areas to explore. Ask about their favorite recipe, the most challenging hike they've done, or even tie the 2 together with a fun question like, have you ever tried cooking outdoors on one of your hikes? This creative approach keeps the conversation dynamic and prevents it from becoming repetitive. You can also share your own experiences to help build mutual ground. For instance, if they talk about hiking, you could mention your favorite outdoor adventure and ask for their recommendations on where to go next. If cooking comes up, share a story about the last dish you tried to make and ask for their opinion. These shared experiences create a sense of connection, where it feels less like an interview and more like a balanced, enjoyable exchange. Another effective tactic is to steer the conversation towards something you're both excited about. If they mention they're looking forward to a weekend trip or a new movie, show genuine enthusiasm and ask for more details. Questions like, what are you most excited about for your trip? Or have you heard any good reviews about that movie? Give them the chance to express their excitement and keep the energy high. Finding common ground isn't about forcing a connection. It's about actively discovering what you both enjoy and letting the dialogue naturally evolve from there. When you focus on topics that matter to both of you, conversations become more engaging, meaningful, and far from awkward. By practicing this, you'll not only avoid uncomfortable silences but also create interactions that leave a lasting positive impression. If you're ready to elevate your conversations to a whole new level and never run out of things to say, there's still so much more to uncover. Conversations aren't just about avoiding awkward silences. They're about creating genuine connections that leave a lasting impression. In the next video, I'll guide you through advanced strategies that will not only help you keep the conversation flowing but also teach you how to truly understand the meaning behind what the other person is saying in their messages. Imagine being able to pick up on subtle cues, decode their intentions, and respond in ways that make them feel seen, valued, and excited to talk to you again. These techniques aren't just about making small talk, they're about building deeper, more meaningful interactions that go beyond the surface. Think about how powerful it would be to anticipate what someone wants to hear, to guide the conversation effortlessly, and to always have the perfect response at the ready. Whether you're chatting with someone new, building rapport with a friend, or trying to strengthen a relationship, these insights will give you the confidence to navigate any conversation with ease. You'll learn how to turn every message into an opportunity to connect on a deeper level, making you stand out in ways others simply don't. Don't stop here. Click on the next video now and unlock the tools, techniques, and mindset you need to become a true master of meaningful, engaging, and unforgettable conversations. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.